What's up guys? We are back with another video, and in today's video I wanted to do a little first impression video. So not long ago, if you watched my last video, I ended up picking up a Leica M10 and then a Summilux 1.4 aspherical lens. So this is a combo I've been wanting to get for a really long time, being that I'm already on the Leica SL2. Now I have a camera that I can do a lot more of my travel-esque photography when I don't want to lug around my big commercial camera. I ended up shooting this really cool home tucked away in Topanga, and yeah, I wanted to give you guys my opinion of shooting on the Leica M10 for the first time. So we'll be covering some things of what I think about the lens, how the camera felt, how it was shooting on a rangefinder, and a couple other things as well. So we'll hop into that right away. We're gonna start with using a rangefinder. This is the first time I've really used a rangefinder properly. I've used it on a couple different film cameras in the past, but never for a digital camera. So with that, this really made me slow down my whole shooting process in general. Being a completely manual focused lens, and obviously the whole body is manual as well, it makes you really slow down a lot of your work, and you got to be like a lot more intentional. So that was a huge change for a lot of my digital work. And yeah, it made me really think about composing shots well. What do I really want to shoot in this moment? Another thing I'll say, with it being a rangefinder, I found myself shooting a lot more horizontal images, where just with the way photography has gone over the last couple decades with social media, a lot of people shoot basically all vertical. I find myself shooting horizontal a lot more on this camera. So that was like a very nice change. I want to have that balance in my portfolio of verticals and horizontals to not make it so mundane and repetitive. Okay, so the second thing I wanted to cover on was black and white images, especially with the Summilux lens. Yeah, I mean, it's a super soft lens to start with, and then that paired with black and white images really creates this nice, dreamy, soft, dramatic look. And with some of my past videos, I've talked about how I really love when you can crush your highlights and get that really soft look. This lens is literally the best for that type of look, and especially when it comes to black and whites, it essentially looks like a film photo in my opinion. The house that I was shooting in Topanga, very soft, a lot of muted tones, and it was a very gloomy day. So all of that kind of paired together really helped the lens shine in this situation. So I'm excited to use it going forward, and I'm really excited to start posting a lot more black and whites on my portfolio overall to have that diversity through my page. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about was the camera build. This is almost a completely metal camera, very sturdy camera. Obviously, with the price point of these, I have to be very careful with it. Yeah, I mean, it's insanely well built, and as it should be, like I said, for what you're paying. I was very against Leicas for a long time, and I've talked about that in prior videos, but honestly, I've came to the conclusion that if you're gonna nerd out about photography and make it your career, why not get the stuff that you can obsess over the most and nerd out about the most? Maybe some of the Leica equipment is, let's say, overpriced. You really do get these insane colors that are hard to emulate on other systems, and maybe that's why Leica has been so successful over all of these years, is you do get this softness. The lens selection is insane compared to some other systems. I also brought my 600X aperture light, which was a new addition to my gear collection. So I'll be making a separate video about the 600X, but kind of wanted to show that this light is insane, and it really helped us get some insane photos through the home. So having this light plus the Leica M10 and that Summilux lens just made for this perfect combo. But we'll get more into the Aperture 600X in another video. Finally, on this note, honestly, it just made me enjoy the whole process of shooting in general. I really think if you're a photographer or even a videographer, it's really important to have a daily camera that you can just go take photos because you want to go take photos. And not just have a workhorse camera where you're like, okay, I'm going to shoot to get paid, this is my camera. And it's nice to have something where you want to go on a cool trip and just be a photographer. So I feel like this camera is really going to allow me to go create cool moments being a photographer. I just want to be constantly shooting. So having this thing in the most mundane areas or most epic areas will be really nice. And then the convenience of how small it is, obviously compared to a Leica SL2, is insanely nice. So I'm really stoked on the camera in general. I'm really stoked about my purchase on this. For a long time, a couple of my buddies were really suggesting mainly this lens, but obviously also the body as well. So first impressions, I'm really stoked on these photos and I'm really excited to share more. Thanks for watching my first impression video and see you guys in the next one.